Something is already different and you felt it before you opened this. A pull, a whisper at the edge of your awareness, something you couldn't name but couldn't ignore. It found you at an unexpected moment, maybe in the silence between thoughts, maybe in a dream you barely remember, maybe in a sudden stillness that made the noise of the world fall away for just a second. And in that second you knew, something is changing. You didn't imagine it. What you're sensing right now is not wishful thinking. It is not coincidence. It is not your mind playing tricks on you. There is a force building beneath the surface of your life, and it has been building for longer than you realize. The question is not whether it's real. The question is whether you're ready for what it's about to do. Stay with me because what I'm about to walk you through will explain everything you've been feeling, and by the end you will understand why this exact moment matters more than almost any other you've experienced this year. Think back over the last several days, maybe even the last 2 weeks. Something has felt off, hasn't it? Not wrong exactly, but heavier, slower, like moving through water. Thoughts that wouldn't settle, emotions that arrived without explanation and lingered without resolution. A tiredness that sleep didn't fix, a sadness that didn't belong to any specific event, a strange feeling of being between two places belonging fully to neither. If this sounds familiar, I need you to understand something critical. That was not random. That was not meaningless. That was preparation. The moon has been moving through Pisces, and Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. It is the space of endings, dissolution, and deep emotional release. When the moon passes through Pisces, it opens doors inside you that are normally sealed shut. Memories surface. Old wounds make themselves known. Things you thought you had processed come back one more time, not to punish you, but to ask a single question. Are you ready to let this go? That heaviness you felt was the weight of everything you've been carrying that no longer belongs to you. The confusion was the old version of your life losing its grip. The exhaustion was the cost of holding on to a chapter that has already ended. And here is where it gets interesting, because that chapter is ending right now. Not next week. Not eventually. Now. As March 19th approaches, the moon crosses a threshold. It leaves Pisces. It enters Aries. And when it does something inside, you shift so fundamentally that the world you wake up to will feel different from the one you fell asleep in. Not because anything outside has changed, but because something inside you has finally turned on. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the spark, the ignition, the first breath after a long silence. If Pisces was the ocean pulling you under, Aries is the moment you break the surface and gasp for air. And that gasp, that sudden rush of clarity and energy and raw, undeniable aliveness, is what's coming for you. But I need to be honest with you about something. This shift does not arrive gently. The transition between Pisces and Aries is one of the most intense thresholds in the entire astrological cycle. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff in complete darkness. Behind you is everything familiar, every comfort, every pattern, every version of yourself that you've ever known. Ahead of you is nothing but open air and the faintest glow of something you cannot yet see. Pisces brought you to this cliff. It walked you here through fog and silence and the ache of letting go. And now Aries is asking you to jump, not fall, jump, deliberately, with your eyes open. This is why the energy feels so charged right now. You're standing at the exact point where one cycle dies and another is born. And that point, that razor-thin line between what was and what will be, is where you are right now, reading this, feeling this. You're knowing somewhere beneath logic and reason that what I'm describing is exactly what's happening inside you. The restlessness you feel is not anxiety, it is activation. The impatience is not weakness, it is readiness. The strange certainty that something is about to happen is not fantasy, that is recognition. Your body, your intuition, your deepest self already knows what your conscious mind is still catching up to. The green light is turning on. But let me tell you what the green light actually is, because it is not what most people think. The green light is not permission from the universe. It is not a sign falling from the sky. It is not someone else opening a door for you. The green light is an internal event. It is the moment when the gap between who you have been and who you are becoming finally closes. It is the instant when hesitation loses its power over you, when doubt becomes quieter than desire, when the fear of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. And this is exactly what the Aries moon initiates. As the moon settles into Aries, it forms a connection with Mars. Now Mars is the ruler of Aries. It is the planet of action, drive, will, and raw forward motion. When the Moon and Mars align in this way, something extraordinary happens. Your emotions stop circling. They stop echoing inside you without direction. Instead, they crystallize. They become fuel. What you feel transforms into what you do. The internal becomes external. The invisible becomes visible. This is why you may suddenly feel an overwhelming urge to move, to speak, to decide, to stop waiting, to stop asking for permission, to stop wondering if you're ready and simply begin. That urge is not recklessness. It is alignment. And here is where the story deepens, because this is not just about the Moon. Something far larger is happening simultaneously, and it changes everything. The Sun, the center of your identity, your purpose, your deepest sense of self, is sitting at the final degree of Pisces, the 29th degree. In astrology, this is called the anaretic degree, and it is one of the most powerful and volatile points in the entire zodiac. The 29th degree is the degree of completion, of culmination, of the very last exhale before a completely new breath. When the Sun occupies this degree, it brings everything that is unfinished into sharp, sometimes uncomfortable focus. Memories you haven't fully processed, decisions you've been avoiding, truths you've been whispering to yourself but haven't yet spoken aloud. This is not the universe being cruel. This is the universe being precise. It is showing you one final time what you need to release before you can move forward. Think of it as the last page of a book you've been reading for a very long time. You have to read it. You have to let it land. And then you have to close the book because the next one is already waiting. And the next one begins when the Sun enters Aries. That moment, the Sun's ingress into Aries, is not just another transit. It is the astrological new year. It is the reset of the entire zodiac cycle. It is in the most literal sense a new beginning. Not a metaphorical one, not a hopeful one, a structural one. The energy of the cosmos itself resets, and everything that follows carries the imprint of this starting point. Do you understand what this means? The Moon entering Aries is the spark. The Sun entering Aries is the fire, and you are standing right between the two, holding everything you've ever wanted to become in your hands, waiting for the moment when it all catches light. Now let me tell you about Mercury, because Mercury is doing something quietly extraordinary, and almost no one is talking about it. Mercury, the planet of thought, communication and perception, has been moving through Pisces, and Mercury in Pisces is a fascinating, disorienting experience. Logic softens. Boundaries between thoughts dissolve. Ideas arrive not as clear statements but as feelings, images, impressions. You know something is true, but you cannot explain why. You sense an answer, but you cannot articulate it. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. You feel its presence, but it keeps slipping through. This is why the past few weeks may have felt mentally foggy, not because you were confused, but because your mind was operating on a different frequency, one that prioritizes intuition over analysis, feeling over fact, knowing over proving. But here is what's changing. Mercury is beginning its approach toward Aries, and as it does, those scattered, formless impressions start to solidify. Thoughts that were floating begin to land. Ideas that felt abstract suddenly have edges, structure, direction. It is as if someone is slowly turning up the focus on a lens, and what was blurry is becoming sharp. This means that the things you've been sensing but couldn't articulate are about to become clear. The answers you felt but couldn't explain are about to become words, and those words are about to become plans, and those plans are about to become action. The timing of this is not accidental. Mercury's shift from Pisces toward Aries mirrors the larger transition happening all around you. Everything, the Moon, the Sun, Mercury, is moving from completion to initiation, from water to fire, from ending to beginning. Every single planetary current is flowing in the same direction, toward you, toward now, toward go. Let me tell you what this looks like in practice, because cosmic energy means nothing if it doesn't touch your actual life. In the coming days, watch for these signals. They will be subtle at first, but unmistakable once you recognize them. A situation that has felt stuck will suddenly shift, not dramatically, not with fanfare, but a door that was closed will crack open. An option that didn't exist yesterday will appear today. A conversation that felt impossible will become natural. This is the green light expressing itself through your circumstances. You will notice a change in your tolerance. Things you've been putting up with, relationships that drain you, habits that hold you back, environments that shrink you, will suddenly feel unbearable. Not because they got worse, but because you've outgrown them. Aries energy has no patience for anything that doesn't match your trajectory. What doesn't fit will become obvious, and your willingness to tolerate it will evaporate. You will feel a pull towards something specific. It might be a project, a person, a place, a decision, a conversation. Something will call to you with a clarity that cuts through the noise. And when it does, you will feel a strange certainty in your body. Not in your mind, in your body. A warmth, a steadiness, a knowing that sits in your chest or your stomach and says simply, yes, follow it. That is not wishful thinking. That is not delusion. That is the convergence of Pisces intuition and Aries courage working together to show you exactly where to go. But I have to warn you about something. This energy is powerful, but it is not passive. It does not work for you automatically, it works through you. And that requires something from you that the Pisces phase did not. It requires a decision. Aries energy is the energy of the warrior, not the thinker, not the dreamer, not the observer, the warrior. And the warrior's greatest act is not fighting. It is choosing. Choosing to move when standing still feels safer. Choosing to speak when silence feels easier. Choosing to begin when waiting feels more comfortable. The green light is turning on, but you still have to drive. And here is the part that most people miss. The step doesn't have to be big. Aries is not asking you for a revolution. It is asking you for a beginning. One email, one conversation, one decision, one honest moment where you stop negotiating with your own potential and simply say, I'm starting. That is enough. That single act of initiation carries more power right now than months of planning, because it is aligned with the most potent transitional energy of the entire astrological year. Venus is adding something to this moment that I haven't mentioned yet, and it matters more than you might expect. Venus, the planet of love values and self-worth, is quietly amplifying everything I've described. She's encouraging you to choose based on what is authentic, not what is expected. To move toward what genuinely fulfills you, not what looks right from the outside. To build from truth, not from obligation. This means that the decisions you make during this window carry a particular signature. They are not just strategic. They are soul level. When you act from this energy, you are not just changing your circumstances, you're changing your relationship with yourself. You're saying for perhaps the first time in a long time, I trust what I feel. I trust where I'm being led. I trust that I am ready. And you are. Whether you fully believe it or not, you are. The fact that you're here reading this, feeling this, resonating with this is proof. You would not be drawn to this message if you were not already standing at the threshold. The energy doesn't find people who aren't ready. It finds people who are. So where does this leave you? Right here, right now, at the exact edge of something extraordinary. Behind you is the weight of the past, several weeks, months, maybe years. The questioning, the processing, the waiting, the wondering if and when things would shift. The quiet hope that you carried even when nothing seemed to confirm it. All of that was real. All of that mattered. And all of that has led you to this precise point. Ahead of you is open space, not empty space. Open space. Space that is waiting to be filled with your choices, your actions, your voice, your presence. Space that responds to who you are becoming, not who you used to be. The moon is in Aries. The sun is about to follow. Mercury is sharpening. Mars is fueling. Venus is affirming. Every major planetary body is participating in a single unified message. Begin. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel perfectly ready. Not when every question has been answered and every doubt has been resolved. Now, with whatever you have, from wherever you are. The green light is not coming. The green light is here. It has been building inside you through every heavy day, every restless night, every moment of confusion that was actually preparation in disguise. And now it is on. Steady, clear, unmistakable. You know what you need to do. You've known for a while. The only thing that was missing was the signal to go. This is it. The path will reveal itself as you walk it. The clarity will deepen as you move. The confidence will grow as you act. You don't need the full map. You only need the first step. Take it and watch what happens. But before you move, let me leave you with this. What makes this moment different from every other time you felt motivated or inspired is that this is not just emotion. This is structure. This is the architecture of the cosmos aligning in a way that supports exactly what you're feeling. The motivation you feel right now is not random. It is backed by the most powerful seasonal transition in astrology. It is reinforced by every planet shifting in the same direction at the same time. It is confirmed by the fact that you are here receiving this at the exact moment you needed to hear it. That is not luck. That is synchronicity. And synchronicity is the universe's way of telling you that you're exactly where you need to be doing exactly what you need to do. The journey has already begun. The only question left is whether you'll walk it consciously or let it carry you unconsciously. Either way, the energy moves. But when you move with it deliberately, courageously, honestly, something shifts in the fabric of your life that cannot be undone. Every lesson you've learned, every heartbreak you've survived, every quiet night when you asked for a sign has led you to this doorway. And the doorway is open. Not halfway, not reluctantly, wide open, waiting for you to walk through with the full force of everything you are and everything you are becoming. This is not just a moment of change. This is the start of a new direction, one that will continue to develop with every step you take. And whether you fully realize it yet or not, the first step has already been taken. You took it by being here. You took it by listening. You took it by feeling what you felt and not looking away. Now take the next one, and the next. And let the momentum carry you into the life that has been waiting for you on the other side of this threshold, because it is there, it is real, and it is ready for you. The only thing left is for you to be ready for it, and you are. You already are. Go.